Hello everyone, before the video starts, I just wanted to make a quick announcement that my store is now live. The link will be in the description if you want to check it out. We have a blue Brachiosaurus available, and we also have a green T-Rex available. And if you guys want to get the green T-Rex for free, I will be doing a giveaway in this video for it. All you have to do is count how many times I say the word buck and comment that down below. I will pick a winner from the correct answers in about a week. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on with the buck Q&A. Hello everyone, my name is Leo DaLeoVert, and I asked you guys to ask me questions about the buck in order to answer them. Now, the first question we have is, why is the buck so brightly colored? Now, my opinion on this is that I believe the buck is so brightly colored because of the original Kenner Buck T-Rex. Now, this guy was also brightly colored, and if you get a closer look at both of them together, they kind of look similar. So my thought process is that they kind of paid homage to this figure. I think it would have been a better option to make it more accurate to the movie, but I also am not entirely sure if this is the right answer. This is just my opinion. Now, the second question I have here is, how did I acquire the buck? Now, a lot of you didn't acquire the buck because a lot of scalpers were out there, and that was my anticipation. So what I did is I over prepared. I made a Mattel's Creation account. I put in my login into my PayPal, and I put in my payment and shipping information into my PayPal. So all I had to do was log into PayPal when I purchased the buck, and it was that easy. Now, for this next answer, it's kind of an answer to multiple questions. People were saying, why was it a repaint? And someone else said, why didn't they use the sculpt of the crowdfunded one? To answer both of those questions, this is not the same sculpt as Rexy. There's actually scars on the face of the buck, and the brows are slightly higher. The articulation is exactly the same as the crowdfunded one. As you can see here, they actually fixed some of the problems with Rexy, which was Rexy couldn't really hold herself up. So to answer those questions, this is a different sculpt, and this is exactly the same sculpt we saw as the crowdfunded one, just the paint was not as good. Now, we have a couple of short questions, so I kind of want to knock them out here. Is this an amazing figure? Personally, I love it. I think it's an amazing figure. Was it worth it? $85 for this figure is worth it. $300 for a resale of this figure is not worth it. And do I like the paint of this buck figure? I do. It's just not accurate, but I think the paint still looks good. Our next question is, where would I rank the buck among other Hammond collection figures? The easiest way to answer this is, if I were to make a tier list of Hammond collection figures, I would put the buck in the B tier. Now, that's not to say that the buck is a bad figure, because I would put plenty of figures in the F tier currently. I think this guy is above average, and me personally, I like the figure. Our next question is, why is the buck's head articulation not as good as others? Now, I think this is simply a product of its time. So this guy is mostly based off the Rexy sculpt, except for, a couple things like the head. But the articulation is exactly the same as Rexy, despite the sculpt being slightly different. The predecessors of the T-Rex, being the Giga and the Spinosaurus, have better head articulation simply because they got experience from building the Rexy, so they were able to do it a lot better. Now, our next question is, could we have been able to see the buck from the crowdfund at this price point? Yes, most definitely we could have seen it at this price point. Why didn't we see the same buck figure? It could have been many reasons. It could have been simply because they didn't want to make the crowdfund because it never got accepted, but they still wanted to make a buck figure, so they slightly altered it. Or simply because they wanted to cut corners and save money in certain areas. Now, our next question is, how does this figure compare to its other San Diego Comic-Con exclusive partner? I think the paint on the other San Diego Comic-Con T-Rex was a lot better. It was a lot more movie accurate compared to this figure. But the sculpt on this figure is a lot better with the proper size feet and the more sharp looking teeth. I think it makes this figure look a lot better and a lot more finished than the other figure, despite the paint being better. So it depends on what you prefer. Now, our final question of the day is a bit of a funny one. Smash or pass? Yeah, no comment. Now that we're done with all the questions, I wanted to interject my own opinions and my own thoughts about the Buck figure for y'all. The first one is, I feel like this figure would really benefit from getting a re-release. Now, I've talked about this in a short before, but basically what I want to see is this figure, but more accurately colored, being sold in the main line of the Hammond collection, so no exclusives, just regular old Hammond collection Buck T-Rex. Now, something I really love about this figure that no other figure has is the paint detail inside the mouth. I want to see this as the standard moving forward for Hammond collection figures, because I never knew how much of a difference it makes compared to my other figures. It just looks so more real and alive when his mouth is open compared to my other figures like the Spinosaurus. And finally, the last point I wanted to make is that I never want to see another exclusive dinosaur like this again. The Buck T-Rex was too popular of a dinosaur to make an exclusive. There's too many people out there that wanted this figure but did not get him. And I feel like if you're going to make an exclusive, make it something niche. Make it a novel figure that no one cares about. I'm not talking about a novel Carno. Everybody wants a novel Carno. Make it something that's just like super out of the ordinary, that only a few collectors are going to be like, oh, I want to complete the collection, so let me get it. It's also just not a good business idea to make such a popular figure an exclusive and make him so limited, when you could put them on the stores and make so much more than what you're currently making. But enough ranting. That was pretty much all I had to say about the Buck. Now, finally, to wrap things up, remember that my store will be in the link in the description below. All the items there will be super limited, so if you want something, go check it out now. And if you do decide to purchase something, it helps me out a lot. I don't make money on these videos, I'm just doing it for you guys right now. And I'd appreciate you if you go check it out. Or another way to help me out, if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. That helps me out a lot too. And if you want to go above and beyond, share this video with a friend. And yeah, so basically I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll catch you all later.